Strength FM. Thanks for watching. So this morning I'm going to explore live. This is live, people. I'm going to put this on all three channels because I think it's necessary for it to be on all three of my channels, even though this is what I do on my two other channels, not my day-to-day life channel. However, you're going to get this, my peoples, because I feel that you need it. Just like those people who are more awakened, they get this kind of stuff all the time. Lately I haven't been putting much out there, but I did put something out there yesterday, and this will go today. So um, I was looking at, let me see, can I, um, so I have no apologies for how I see reality regarding sexuality. I see us in avatars. I have a female avatar and my husband has a male avatar. I see we have body parts that commingle. I see they work very well and we produce children. So anything outside of that is just pleasure. It's just lust of the flesh. It's just being a guinea pig. I have guinea pigs, and my guinea pigs have taught me one thing. They're in beast mode. And animals, particularly those who are not so intelligent and they're maybe driven by their lower body parts, the lower area, they tend to do some weird stuff sometimes, even to themselves and to others. I'm not going to go into any details, but it almost makes you want to not even sometimes pick them up. I'm not going to sit in life like, what the heck are you doing over there? Okay, I can deal with poop, I can deal with pee, I can deal with bathing you. But what are you doing? What are you doing? Why didn't people warn us that you guinea pigs, because they're pigs, they're unclean animals, they do stuff that a little bit cowardly. Anyway, so the reason why I brought up guinea pigs is because of this article, because this is how I relate. I cannot relate in my life the awkwardness of just being full of all types of frequencies, all types of energy, all types of spirits, all types of willingness. Okay? But pride comes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before the fall, according to a writer of a most famous book said. Pride comes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before the fall. Okay? So it's not pride comes before the fall. I hear people saying it all the time. No, it's pride comes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before the fall. So your pride can lead you into a destructive way where you heap upon yourself frequencies or uh, placations that cause you to hurt your own self. That's why destruction comes. Destruction comes because it's in that book it says abominations, meaning that it's just so putty what people do to themselves. They do it to themselves, and they say, "Woe is me." But what we have to do is, I think we need to be less trying to be everything for everybody and flow in everything and in everybody, because pride comes inside of man and man, woman and woman, people and animals. It can flux so many ways. Parents with children, teachers with children, presidents with children. Oh, you look like you're 17 years old, Biden says. But her brother says, no, she's 6 years old. Oh, your ears. Ooh, you look like you're 17. Oh, but colors. You want our people to support colors and all types of frequencies and all types of mingling of colors. It's because they are not solid in their aura. Their bubble has been burst. Their energy bubble has been drained of perpetual life. You know, they talk about the rainbow, but the rainbow, we know that rainbow's in a well-known book, and that rainbow says that the earth will never flood again. So, in a way, flooding water means rebirth, relife. So, wearing prideful colors, simply you're telling the world that you will not rebirth, relife, regenerate. There's no newness of life, no newness of the mind. Just it's all about the avatar. It's all about the what the walk-ins want. If you don't know what a walk-in is, the Catholic Church uh, talk about possession of people, or Sasha Fierce. Let's use Sasha Fierce as an example. That's a walk-in. Okay, Sasha Fierce is a walk-in for Beyonce, and Beyonce acknowledges Sasha Fierce. And there are a few other people that have walk-ins, but then there are people who have um, uh, they've even said it. Oh, they made clones of me, and there's no way they have technology like that. No, no way the genome has been messed with like that. There's no way. There's no way. There's underground labs. No way. That sounds like a movie. I know. That's why they show it to you in a movie, so then you can relate it to a movie and not to real life. All right. So it says historic American Catholic lit up in bright colors for open celebration of. This person says sin. So I would say an open celebration of low frequency, because they're dealing in the lower chakra. Now, if you don't know what a chakra is, it's like another brain in your body. You have a chakra in your heart, you have a chakra in your throat, you have a chakra right here. You, it's many chakras in your body. However, when your main chakra that you focus on and it's full of pride and it's very lit up and it's very colorful and it's down here in your lower parts, um, you haven't learned much while you're here. You you'll be reincarnated. Sorry, you'll be put back in the game, and I don't know how much remembrance you'll have. I don't know. Um, yeah. So um, Anton says perhaps one benefit to glean from the annual disaster of God, gay and lesbian pride month is that Christians can more easily identify the churches that no longer follow the teachings of Christ. Now we know Christ actually is a state of mind. Now let me explain that to you, those folks who have a belief system or a religious system or you have a faith. Christ, let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus, or Yeshua, or Joshua, okay, or Inky. So Christ is a state of mind. It's a light. It's an awareness. It's above the game. Okay, Christo in the movie that Jim Carrey was on, uh, the Truman Show. Christo was off planet, more so on the satellite moon. He was on a satellite, which was a moon, and he was above a studio of a certain portion of the earth. And in this small portion of the earth, that was sort of kind of the center of the earth, sort of kind of like how our our world is. We're the center, and then you have the other ice walls that are still on this planet, but they're more outer. Then there's another ice wall, and then there's an outer. Lack of knowledge, people perish and cast off restraint. The reason why you don't know that there are other lands is because you don't have the knowledge of it. If you had the knowledge of it, it would help you understand the placation of the game. Now, I don't want to spend my whole time on these people lighting themselves up with lustful desire. It's because everybody got it. What you put out is what you get. So I don't have to say, oh, it's a sin. I don't have to say any of that. Right? I don't have to say it. Nis. Nis. I don't have to say it. Nis. Okay? I don't have to say nis. Okay? Alright. So Christ is an awareness. It's more of an inside awareness of your, let's say your pineal gland not being calcified with fluoride to the point where you can't understand spiritual things. And what are spiritual things? It's things inside the simulated matrix that are uncovered. You're able to uncover in plain sight the stuff that they are hidden. They are hide stuff in plain sight, meaning they assume that your pineal gland, they call it the third eye, is calcified to the point where you can't pick up quickly enough to change your way based, let's say they show you something, The Simpsons or these other cartoons. They show you something, or SpongeBob or Disney. They show you some stuff. in the news and basketball and football. They show a lot of stuff, and even YouTube now. A lot of these people that's making millions, they're part of it. They show you certain things, but if you don't know the language they're speaking, do having eyes to see repetitive things, sequential things. See, I want to spend some time um, discussing how to not slumber and sleep. You remember there was 10 virgins, and these virgins they slumber and slept. Some slumbered, some slept. Half slept and half slumbered. Slumber means that sometimes you're aware. Your eternal self is alert, and you're able to hear your inner voice clearly, especially when dangerous times come. Clearly, and you know your voice, and a stranger's voice you will not follow because you know your voice, your eternal voice. You know your voice, and some people call it their voice God, which is dog, ma, backwards, as above so beneath it. Okay, flip it. Always flip things. See, I am aware. Dogma is um, the unspoken I or the unspoken you. Dogma, God am. The unspoken I am God. Now, for me, I don't take pride in stuff like that, and I don't celebrate stuff like that because to me, that's I know what that means. When people say it's the God in me or I'm a God, well, that doesn't sound glorious to me because to me that's just a constructed title of Anunnakis and all the other different names for the Anunnakis. And if you don't know what Anunnaki is, you might be serving an Anunnaki. A lot of folks are, but anyway, because they're in well-known cathedrals. Okay, so but I think in this cathedral they serve Inky, and then in the Jewish format or the Hebrew format they serve Enlil because Enlil is more stricter. And the pride color thing, Inky will let that in because Inky is about experimenting. Inky's about science. Inky's about him and Maduk. They're about the earth, what's on the earth. And then what you got Enlil. Enlil is more about, look, I want to rescue you to take you to a better place. I want to take you up here where I'm at, you know. But because it says here, whether changing their logo to fit within the rainbow hegemony or releasing cowardly statements professing tolerance and condemning hate, American churches' loyalties are most effectively displayed during these deplorable celebrations. Now, the reason why he's saying they're deplorable is because it's not it's not it's not going with what they normally do. So that's what he's saying. He's saying no, no, no. Somebody's going off kether because don't our books say they have way more books than the Protestants, which the Protestants have come back under the Catholics. Uh, that was celebrated, I think, in 2012 or 2015. Can't remember, but I remember seeing it, and I was like, oh, okay. Make sure I'm not part of any of that. That sort of kind of helped solidify why I was like, I need to walk away from what tradition of man, that tradition of men that speak for their God. I need to walk away from that because that's the only way you hear about your God is through a tradition of man. And tradition of man is written statements from men that penned and collaborated and got together and formulated and removed things and took out books and put books and added books and made something special. And a lot of what's in there is being manifest because we have pride in wanting to see what it is that we believe in come forth. So you want to see what you believe in come forth. So why do you think it comes forth? Because your pride brings destruction. See, your own personal pride brings destruction. Remember, a haughty spirit comes just before the fall. I'm talking about your book. I know the book. I know it very well. That's why I'm like, I don't never have anybody arguing with me in the comments, because I hope you can tell that whatever I say, believe me, believe me, I ain't gonna argue with nobody about it, because I do understand everything I'm saying. This isn't from some hypothetical. This is literally from decades on decades on decades on decades of trying and seeing, tasting and seeing, and questioning and options and this, that, and the other. Because I'm a very fair and just person. Okay, it says here, in one of the most prominent churches of that denomination, the historic Cathedral of St. John the Divine in New York City, consecrated in 1911, which is a 9/11, so this is coded language here, um, has made its devotion to pride one of the seven deadly sins, as explicit as humanly possible, declaring on its website that iconic pride has returned to 2024. The cathedral has lit up with the pride colors for an entire month of June, a kick-off of its celebrations. So it says here, as seen on the cathedral's website, those celebrating include drag story hours at the cathedral school. So a drag would be someone dressed up. A drag would be a man or a woman doing the opposite of what who they are. So if it's a man, he's going to dress up like a woman. If it's a woman, she's going to dress up like a man. And children are not going to know the difference. So that's sort of kind of like, in a way, that's sort of kind of deceptive. In a way, that's sort of mentally challenged. But people do abuse people. So there's nothing new there. Um, so drag story hour. So I will say this: the thought I came to Baphomet, and Baphomet is the greatest of all time. You know, he's the goat. He's half woman, half animal. He's male as well. He's just a beast. But he also was made to have an avatar that's pridefully. Uh, he has a lot of different fluxes in him. He has a lot of different colors in him. He cannot be fruitful and multiply. However, he, she, it um, sits on the throne of I'm the greatest of all time. And of course, you know, the genome has been spliced. The DNA has been marked with markers of different Elohims. Let us make man in our image and after our likeness. He made them male and female. Okay, so those Elohims, it's not talking about one Elohim. It's talking about Elohim, meaning many, multiple, plural, plural, plural. Yeah. So, for lack of knowledge, people go into things they shouldn't go into, and it debases them into a mind of slavery, a mind of childlikeness. You know, come unto me, all who labor and are heavy burden, I'll give you rest. Well, you have to come to the person as a child, even though you're a full grown person. Why should I have to come as a child? Why can't we sit down and reason together? So, yeah. So, anyway, you know, say, there ain't no reasoning here. Well, that means that you're not reasonable. So if I can't sit here and reason with you, why I should submit myself to you like a child? Because remember, a child can't talk back to the parent, can't ask questions, can't be inquisitive, can't say, well, what about this? And how do I know how is it? How am I going to figure out? That's what I'm trying to say. How am I going to figure out whether you're the piper? How am I going to figure out whether you Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde? How am I going to figure out? Just serve blindly. And if you don't, you're a bad person. And you say, well, that's that person's opinion that I'm a bad person. But when you look at my life and you look at the fruit of my life, no, I'm not a bad person. Well, if you're not part of this special group, you're a bad person. Well, I call that narcissism. Let's move forward. So, on the grand scale, even songs as well as hosting, anyway, exhibitions devoted to topics such as queer religion. I really was like, I want to really just get to this other file and just get straight to it. But I know that this video is for me as well as for you guys, gals. So I don't get paid for what I do. So when I'm out here, sitting out here talking to you, and I've felt myself feeling moved to, because my heart gets stirred up with, um, I know I'm moving to a different understanding of the game, and for 2 or 3 days, my heart will be heavy, and I have to keep my mind in perfect peace, and I have to not be moved by my flesh. I have to not be moved by my emotions. I have to remember and retain that which I've already learned, that is stable, that's clear, that's transparent, and all that I've learned and all that I've experienced, that's transparent, that's just, that's fair, that's reasonable, that's just right to the point. I retain those things and don't allow my emotions, my hormones, my movements to change me. And this has nothing to do with the monthly female thing. This is just when it's time for me to uh, push out more, let's say more purple, which is like love. I have to experience a depletion of the fake kind of love, or the fakery of, you can stand around talking to a group of people and you can't understand why the conversation is going so well, but yet you feel so awkward about, not everybody, but some people. Then later on, you realize it's because they've taken oaths and they've done rituals that connect them more to the game, and you're not attached to the game yet. You still can get along with these people because you don't do them all the time, and you're talking in generalities about maybe, um, why is the contractor at your house? Well, why do you want to know why the contractor's at my house? And why do you concern yourself with whether or not I'm getting something fixed on my house? But you just look at them and smile because it's just, yeah. Anyway, let's move forward. So he talks about here sharing a picture of the cathedral lit up with the pride colors. Horn marveled how the arches and columns are lit in all colors of the rainbow. So he says a beautiful cathedral of St. John the Divine in New York City. The arches and columns are lit, blah, 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 blah. Oh. Uh, this to me is a sign of the Ouroboros being broken down. To me, this is a sign of, see the eyes red here? This is a sign that the veil is being broken. They're trying to, with CERN, break down the. I mean, there's no way they can remove the dome, so they can stop that. But these are domes. See, these are domes. This would be where we're at, and then there's another ice wall, and then there's another land, then there's another dome with the ice. They're trying so hard to blend all the lands on the earth. Look, we're not even talking about in the earth. If we want to talk about in the earth, then I mean, maybe here, but blue one's on the outside. Okay. It's a lot that can be said. It's a lot. You got this posted at 9:46. 46 is suicide. 9 is half of yin and yang. Okay. We got, what is this? January, February, March, April, May, June. We got 67. 67 is a very important number. The 1967, look it up. A lot of things happened in 1967. That's 57 years ago. Uh, so very important. 67 is very, very, very important. Anything else I want to decode before I move forward? Justice Horn, blowing the horn of justice, huh? So I looked up. I'm gonna go to what I'm talking about because I need to. Many of those responding his posts, however, were decidedly less thrilled. One user observed how progressivism will hollow out your religion and wear it as a skin suit. Example 234142286. While another merely commented, "This is gay felt." Another user, okay, I need to go to this because it's just their opinion on things, and everybody has the right to their opinion on how they feel about things. So this number here, now I should put it in gematria. I really should, But I'm almost spooked if I do. It's like, y'all, you sure you want to go into gematria this morning? Are you sure you want to do gematria this morning? Are you sure you want to do gematria this morning? Boy, I don't know. I'm doing it live, so I already told you I was gonna do it live. So I mean, oh girl, I just gotta see. I already have something, a tab already up, but I really want to see what does this stand. Oh, 30s. I know they added it up, but let's go to some more ciphers. Um, I just want to see if these other ciphers are going to do. Let's do this one. Anything different? That's all. Let's see real quick. Let me update it real quick. So basically, anything attached to this? Anything attached to this? Hmm. There's another thing I can pull down here, and I'm trying to figure out what I want to deal with that. Let's go to it's 30, but let's go to the cheat sheet right quick. Um, Gematria. Let's see. Sorry. Let's go to the cheat sheet. We already know the number's 30. I don't know there's a number for 30. So I know theater is 32. I was talking about y'all the other day. I know y'all probably was wondering what I was talking about. Those who don't follow me a lot. Uh, I would say 3. So here it is. This is, I just went on to it, didn't I? This is the number the guy's talking about, the number I called out. Gematria just talks about 30. Now, give me a minute. I don't want to give up on it quite yet. 30. My son was looking at tornadoes, I see. 30. I'm going to deal with it right quick. I don't want to run from it. Creative communication, spiritual awakening. Spiritual awakening. Infinite, eternal. So it's just starting over. Ooh, okay, they died. Ooh, they're gonna start over. They are finna do something. Okay, so what do I think? What is this? 30 angels number meaning. No, thank you. Let's see what this is. I've never seen this one, but I just go with the flow. According to numerology, the number 30 symbolizes communication, creativity, and joy. This number also resonates with the energies of ascended masters who are guiding you towards your soul mission and higher purpose in life. So we do know the Catholic Church, their leaders are guiding people. But what are they guiding people towards? Well, a lot of the members are saying sodomy. Oh my goodness, a lot of them saying, I'm just so sick of these. So there go that number. He's talking about that number. And so I was like, it's quite interesting. Um, okay, so let's just deal with that number. So we go back. Let me exit off of that. Um, that's the number. But let's deal with 30 right quick. So we see it's just basically ascended masters, meaning people who are over people, people who have allowed others to allow them to be over them, to be masters over them. And like with the Social Security card, the CBD system, land ownership, I mean birth certificates, your name in all capital letters, all of this bull crap is so that they can claim that they are your ascended masters for repetitiously eternity. For repetitiously eternally. Does that make sense? Perpetually reincarnate you every time they want to reset the game. Every time there seems like there's going to be an awakening, people are waking up, people are getting knowledge, exceedingly abundantly knowledge. Boom. There are some folks that are human and non-human. Let's call them human. Let's just call them humanoid. Like all of us come from the same energy, so we're all of the same. We're the same, but we're just different avatars, and some flux in lower frequency and some in higher frequency. Meaning some are more positive than others. Some are just negative. Some are diabolical. Some are just always trying to put you in the ditch and fall in the ditch themselves. Because I perpetually say these folks, I know they're gonna try really hard. That's the reason why America's being in, being, and a lot of these people being sent over here to propagate America, just like Cuba and just like Venezuela. It's to break down the system. California, New York, those are democratic states. Those democratic states have been assigned to a lot of these people. See themselves as ascended masters, like the governor of New York. New York. I mean, she literally thinks she's an ascended master. I heard her tell the crowd that they are so intelligent for getting the pow, and that Jesus loves them for getting the pow. And I'm thinking, if that's not blatant manipulation, if that's not blatant manipulation, and on that video, I had to make sure I changed her voice and make sure they understood that hit a demon in her. That's on my other channel, people. And that channel got me in a lot of trouble because I promise you, I just lay it out there, even a child can understand it. Meaning of seeing Angel 30 repeatedly is a sign from the universe that you need to trust your inner guidance and follow your heart. This number is reminded that you are co-creator. You are a co-creator of your reality, and that you have the power to manifest your dreams into reality. So that's the key. They want to be ascended masters over you because you say yes, be a master over me. However, I'm telling you, and I hope this video does not have any way, shape, or form any shape or form zero views, because I have people telling me, hey, I watched your video, and I went back and no one watched your video. Well, it's because if I'm sitting down here talking to y'all, they don't even like me talking, because in my talking, uh, let's see here. Um, I'm talking to my daughter right now. She just got my son's disc back from his x-ray. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get straight to the point so I can talk to her, because I need to deal with, this is some manifestation matters that, understand, it's way more important than me just talking. Okay, the number 30, manifestation number. So you see what it's talking about. Let me go on to this thing here. So this is a lot of time what Gematria will send me to. It'll send me to the National Library of Medicine all the time. And this is just talking mainly about human embryo stem cells. Y'all. This is what this guy was trying to say when he made that statement. Progressivism will hollow out your religion and wear it as a skin suit. Example. Boom. This is what he was saying. Cause I said that from the beginning. Yeah, but I mean, I like talking to you. The answer is marked. Look, marked, y'all, marked by the H3K27 Act and H3K4 NEM1 histone modifications. So look, this genome region was validated as an active enhancer by the CHIP star sequence massive parallel reporter assay and native and primitive human embryo stem cells. So what he's saying is, y'all, this isn't as simple as you think. This isn't as simple as you think. Let's look at some stuff right quick. I'm gonna go off down the rabbit hole for a moment, and then I'll have to come back up because I have stuff I have to do. I just see. So it's dealing with the Homo sapien human. Genome size. DNA sequence of human chromosome 17. So what he's saying is it's deeper than you think. Maybe some of these people are acting like this because it would be sad to think these people have been messed with on that level. And release genome. I found out this about what was inside of the Pow Pow in 2020. This is how I found out what was inside of the Pow Pow, and it was nano technology inside the Pow Pow, and I was like done. Any of my relatives get it? That's on them. I was done. I was done. My daughter's hitting me up real bad right now. I need to leave this link up in the. I'm gonna leave this link in the description box if or in my comment if YouTube, because I'm trying to be able to look into it and be nosy too. Gmail, Amazon 22, computer, save now. Sequence is finished as follows unless otherwise noted. Our regions were double-stranded sequence with an alternative chemistry or covered high-quality data. Attempt was made to resolve our sequencing problems such as compressions and repeats. Our regions were covered by a sequence from more than one subclone, and the assembly was confirmed by restriction regions. Mapping information for this clone was provided by Dr. Wes Warren, Department of Genetics, Washington University, St. Louis, MD. What the hell? So, let me make all this computer stuff, all the matrix stuff. I am so tempted. Tempted. Let me see. Almost look like the cathedral, I swear it does. I'm just saying. God dang. My baby talking to me. That dark and mask. Okay, I'm gonna read it in a minute. She's talking about something. Finding all libraries for an organism. Finding all clones in the library. Finding a clone-specific sequence gene content. Finding and using clone placements on a specific genome assembly. Finding inserts in sequences for a given clone. Use of clone placement gene interpretation. Alright, man, that's what I'm talking about.
This video uses 3 examples from the chicken genome to illustrate common uses of clone placement data. The first is find genomic clones that contain a gene of interest, then use clone placements to recognize a genomic region with potential misassembly, and finally use clone placements to recognize potential structural variations. A companion video that focuses on clone FTP content is linked at the end of this video. Very briefly, clone placements are created by aligning end and insert sequences on genome assemblies annotated at NCBI. To generate a clone placement for end sequences, both ends, forward and reverse, must be placed on the same assembly molecule. For the first example, let's find clone placements in the region of the chicken WDR3 gene. I'm starting in the Genome Data Viewer, but if you happen to be in a gene record, you could link from there to the same GDV display that we are about to see. I'll select the previous chicken assembly, Gallus Gallus 5.0, but that is simply because our 3 examples better illustrate the utility of clone placements in that particular assembly. You might want to have a look at the WDR3 gene region in the updated assembly to see how it has improved. To get to the region of the WDR3 gene, use the search box on the left. We now see the WDR3 gene model. The next step is to add tracks for clone placements. From the Tracks menu, mouse over NCBI recommended track sets, then select Assembly Support. This adds a predefined group of tracks, including clone placements for the 3 libraries with the largest number of placements. Clones with unique concordant placements are displayed as solid blue lines. Unique discordant clones display as a solid red line, and multiple discordant clones display as dotted red line. This clone also has a gray background, indicating that not all end sequences associated with the clone support this placement. If you wanted to, you could add other clone placement tracks in the genomic clones set. And notice that you can upload other data, such as one of the GFF files on the Clone FTP site. Okay, we're now ready to identify good clones for the WDR3 gene. I'll adjust the zoom a bit in order to better see the assembly gap, and I'll also add a marker for the gap region, and I'll need to scroll down to see the clone tracks. Now you see that the CH261 library includes several blue clones, those with unique concordant placements, that contain this assembly gap. So we've met our first goal of finding genomic clones for a gene of interest. Let's move on to the second example, a quick look at using clone placements to assess the quality of an assembly. In this case, to recognize a genomic region with potential misassembly. I've moved over to chicken chromosome Z, and we see a dramatic change in placements from unique concordant to discordant at about 72 megabases. This change occurs in all three libraries, indicating a likely misassembly in the region. The DNA source for this 5.0 assembly is the same as in the CH261 library, but different in the two other libraries, further suggesting a misassembly here. In the final example, we look at clone placements that indicate possible structural variation. I've moved over to chromosome 21. And here we see a few smaller regions in the JAC and JAD libraries with placements of both concordant and discordant clones. This mixture is suggestive of structural variation, but additional analyses are needed to verify this, including closer evaluation of boundaries and possibly sequencing of clones to narrow down locations. Notice that the end clones from the CH261 library have only concordant placements in these regions. Remember that the source sequence for CH261 is different from the other two, leaving open the possibility of genomic variation in these regions. That concludes this tutorial. Please use the Support Center link found on most NCBI pages for your questions and feedback. We would love to hear from you.
All right, people. So you see why you have to have a mind that's more aware of your internal voice, because that's what I'm led by. I'm led by me. So it's like I get insight based off of I need to cook that right there. I just finished talking to my daughter while this was going. I'm listening while it's going, but I'm actually texting her and talking to her about Eleazar and some things that we have to go ahead and handle. Anyway, and that's going to work out for the good. So the genome, if y'all only knew, I was already telling people in, was it February 2020, don't do it, 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 because I already knew that the common cold and the so-called common flu had disappeared as the source. A few months after that, maybe 6 months after that, they had started saying that somehow the flu was 98% not being recorded by doctors. And I'm like, impossible. Every year people get the flu. What you talking about? And so I did a video on that explaining, showing the article saying, yeah, they're saying that during this time frame of the special, doom, 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 pow, pow, that special one that everybody needed to fear and tremble behind, that, has a patent to it. It has a patent. Ask Dr. Anthony Fauci. It has a patent. He was arguing with Ron Paul, trying to use technical terms, trying to manipulate the words. They have open front words that are commonly used that we hear about, like let's say chemtrail and then cloud seeding. It's the same thing. But if you start saying this chemtrail, they'll know what you're talking about. We cloud seed. It's like, but you're seeding the cloud with what? It doesn't matter. We hate you. You're seeding the clouds. You're putting stuff in the clouds that has chemicals. But my brand new Mercedes, it's supposed to be hurting the planet. What about the Tesla car that takes, I got one battery. They take about, what, 9, 10 batteries. They weigh the roads down more because they're so heavy. The little children in the mines working even more harder for the Tesla than my Mercedes. And my baby pretty, but guarantee you, my car is not causing as much trouble as that as that the Tesla. You hear people just say stupid stuff. It just really gets you upset. Like, wait a minute, I'm trying to blame my car. Let's see here. I like to stay level-headed. So when you hear me talking about stuff, y'all, it's because I've been got super nosy, going up the database and read people's stuff. I take out sometimes, days to just read. Knowledge is power. Laziness, you'll perish all the day long, baby. All the day long, you'll perish all the day long. For eternity, until you pick your head up and say, do I need to start opening up my understanding? Yeah. May 10th, NCBI minutes, how to locate and use human genome and annotations from NCBI. This is May 1st, 2017. It says in 2 weeks, the NCBI staff will show you how to quickly find and download human genome annotations from both the web and the command line for incorporation into your workflow. We will also show you how to convert the accessions in these files to those used in other bioinformatics databases, as well as how to visualize these annotations on our genome data viewer. So it does definitely take some understanding on how to handle this. So what's going on? Let's see. She wants to take a call. Let me see right quick. Tell her. Are you able to? Yes. I'm going to make prints of these. Okay, yeah. She's going to call me in a minute. So, y'all, they're marking people. They're genome marking people, and that's all I can say. That's Spike the Devil. Thanks for watching.